In a jaw-dropping twist that has left fans and insiders of the BMF series stunned, reports are swirling that Lil Meech fired shots at a fellow cast member on set, an incident that, while fortunately not fatal, has triggered a wave of investigations, panic, and speculation about what really went down, why it happened, and whether Lil Meech could be facing arrest. Yes, you read that right. The same Lil Meech who portrays his real-life father Demetrius, Big Meech Flenory in 50 Cent's hit STARZ series BMF, has now become entangled in a real-life drama that's even messier, more unpredictable, and more dangerous than anything ever written into the script. It's not every day that an actor literally brings the heat off screen, but in this case, things reportedly escalated way beyond the cameras and straight into the real world. So let's break it all down. This story doesn't begin with chaos. In fact, insiders say it was a pretty regular day on set. The crew was mid-production on what's rumored to be one of the most intense episodes of the new season. Tensions were high on camera, drama, action, all the stuff that makes BMF the powerhouse show it is. But what no one saw coming was that the real drama would erupt behind the scenes between two of the cast members. According to multiple sources who were either on set or close to someone who was, the situation began with a heated disagreement between Lil Meech and another actor, whose identity is currently being kept under wraps for legal reasons and their own safety. The argument reportedly started small. Something about a scene not going as planned, lines being missed, or perhaps even some personal tension that had been brewing for weeks. But whatever the trigger was, things escalated. Now, anyone who's followed Lil Meech over the last couple years knows he's had a few brushes with trouble. He's charismatic. Yes, he's talented, no doubt. But he also carries with him the weight of his legacy, a legacy that includes power, street respect, and the pressure to uphold the image of one of the most infamous crime families in American history. And sometimes, when you grow up in that shadow, the lines between actor and reality get dangerously blurred. Eyewitnesses say the argument turned physical. A scuffle, some shoving, shouting. Security got involved, tried to separate the two. But then, the unthinkable happened. A loud bang rang out across the set. Panic erupted instantly. Crew members scattered. Cameras dropped. Actors dove for cover. For a moment, no one knew if it was a stunt, a prank, or a scripted explosion gone wrong. But as the smoke cleared and someone lay injured on the ground, the grim realization set in. Someone had been shot, and the person holding the weapon was allegedly none other than Lil Meech himself. Let's pause right here, because this is where the story takes a strange turn. Sources close to Meech are adamant that the shooting was not intentional. They claim it was an accident, the result of miscommunication, mishandling, or pure chaos. There are even whispers that the firearm wasn't meant to be a live weapon at all, that it was a prop, or at least believed to be one. If true, this would open a whole different can of worms about safety protocols on set, who sign off on the weapon, and how a live round could end up in a gun being used during filming. Regardless of intent, the fact remains, a real bullet hit a real person. Miraculously, the victim is alive. Injured, yes, but early reports confirm they're in stable condition and recovering. The nature of the injuries hasn't been disclosed, but paramedics arrived quickly, and the individual was taken to a nearby hospital. Their identity remains confidential, though there's speculation that they're a newer addition to the BMF cast, someone who had just started gaining screen time. The fallout was immediate. Production was halted. The entire set was locked down. Law enforcement was called in. Statements were taken. Surveillance footage reviewed. And Lil Meech? He was reportedly shaken, stunned, and visibly distraught. No one, not even his harshest critics, claim he meant for this to happen. But that doesn't mean there won't be consequences. As of now, Lil Meech hasn't been arrested, but the key word is yet. Police are investigating the incident thoroughly. Questions are swirling. Why was a weapon present on set? Who was responsible for securing it? Was it a prop gone wrong? Or was it something else entirely? And most importantly, did Lil Meech pull that trigger, even by accident? Legal analysts say that even if the shooting was unintentional, criminal charges are still possible. Negligence with firearm, reckless endangerment, assault. These are serious offenses. And in a high-profile case like this, the pressure on prosecutors to make an example could be intense. And let's not forget, Meech is no stranger to scrutiny. Just recently, he made headlines after a series of smaller run-ins with the law. From airport incidents to minor altercations, he's been dancing on the edge of trouble. Some say this latest event might be the tipping point that derails his career for good, but others aren't so sure. There's a growing wave of support for Lil Meech online. Fans, fellow cast members, and even insiders from 50 Cent's camp have come out to say that the shooting, while tragic, was clearly an accident. They're pushing for understanding, for context, and for a full investigation before judgments are passed. And 50 Cent himself, the executive producer of BMF, and someone who's always been vocal about protecting his cast and his projects, so far he's remained quiet. No tweets, no Instagram rants, nothing, which is unusual for 50, who typically has something to say about everything. Some believe he's working behind the scenes to do damage control, perhaps even stepping in to protect Meech legally or financially. Others think he's distancing himself, try and preserve the show's image and viability as networks and advertisers start asking tough questions. Because let's be real,